Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, this July the 10th, 2025 afternoon altcoin update. Bell notification, comment down below, like the channel, and share to get that truth, trust, education, and information that you've come to expect, love, need, and deserve. And ZBC, I was asked about. You can see it had a phenomenal run. And this is what this coin does. It has the big pumps and the big dumps. When this coin first came to my attention, somebody talked to me about it up here. And I said after a big pump, better buying opportunities. And it did give you that from March 25th all the way till April, about a month's time. You could have bought it at pre-pump levels and then rode the massive blow-off top pump, right? You can see you had the pump. Everyone got excited. But this, it came right back down to the reload and gave you another shot where it went up, I don't know, 20, it went up. Well, let's see the exact percentage from start to finish. It had a 7x move, right? A 7x move. And now it's more than likely that the pump is over, right? You're at a new all-time high. You've hit the blow off top. And again, my advice would be don't chase it now. You had to buy it down here when it gave you that consolidation. This is where you should have loaded up on it for the pump. Now it's deflating and profit taking is happening, right? So now you wouldn't want to try to buy this local top. You should have already bought and rode the pump, right? So that's what's going on in the ZBCN, which my next major support level, and what I would be doing if you're following this, would be support level 1 would be the 50-day. The next major support level would be the 100-day, and then the 200-day. I would be playing the moving averages for support in the daily time frame. And then you could even go into a longer time frame and go into the weekly and go to even bigger support on any kind of big flush from where this ended at. You could have a 75% fall, and that 50-day and the weekly time frame could be your area where you swing trade that, because that could be where it falls really quick, comes down to the 50-day and the weekly, and then you have that ferocious rally back up for a double top, right? So that would be something that I'd be paying attention to with the ZBCN. You can see the EGLD has just continued to collapse. There has been no substantial bounce from when this coin was brought to my attention. It continues to go down. It is, I believe that was its all-time low, almost its all-time low. Its all-time low is actually the bottom one. We should change that. Different color down there, I remember now, $6.20. You can see where we were the last time, all the way back here in March. It's just continued since the last time we talked, straight down with the moving averages obviously trailing straight to the downside too. Oops. And then the 200-day is above that. We got rejected off that $18 level. We're below that now. And this pattern has just been down, down, down. I don't know anything about this coin. Could it have, like what you just seen with the last coin, go to an all-time low, and then eventually this year, next year, the year after, end up at an all-time high? Absolutely, it could. No one can say that it won't or can't. But that would be something you would have to decide for yourself, and then have the fortitude and the patience to go along and execute the plan that you put together. Otherwise, this coin's been showing nothing but death since it came out, and taking people's money and walking away to the bank with it. But if you keep getting rejected here, just like we were talking about back in March, this $6.20 is your major, obviously major support, because it is your all-time low. If you got any kind of bounce and got above this $18, your critical upper resistance to start hasn't changed, up there at about $29 to $30, right? MATIC, another one. We had MATIC back a long time ago when old Vincenzo made the station, and we put this prediction of an all-time new low back when the price was up here in the 2021 hysteria, and we put this chart out. And then we came back to it a few months ago when it got brought back to my attention, when it was falling in free fall and price discovery in the wrong direction. It did pump back up to a major resistance level after it hit that all-time low in price discovery. And I believe the last time, a couple of months ago, that we talked about it, when it was at its all-time low, you would come back up now and likely retest this major upper resistance, or the bottom part of this orange resistance zone, and it did, and got rejected. Now you got to try to hold here and not slip and breach a new low, and try to work your way and chip your way in and inch your way into the orange trading box and try to start to trade back through there and try to get some bullish action on an otherwise fleecing coin that has done nothing but go down 99% from the top. I am not very over enthusiastic in that coin. You can see another coin that was brought to my attention, DIA. We had that head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern, and you can see when this coin was brought to my attention, we gave you the first mover advantage, and the pattern was somewhere up in here still, up at about the 9 to 10 cents. We put a technical target of 38 from that head and shoulders. We cleared it. Then we told you our underneath target below that would be 26 cents. We hit it, had a ferocious rally to 68 cents, and then we consolidated back down like we were showing you when we were here, that we would come down to 38 cents, and we haven't talked about this coin since May. And you can see it did come down to the bottom part of that red trading zone and did do a nice double bottom off of that. You can see we're running up to the moving averages in the daily time frame. We're actually hitting the overhead 50, and it got a slight rejection, and this is what you need to bounce over to try to get back to that 50-cent level and to actually try to maybe force your way back to 68 cents, because if you keep getting rejected by these moving averages, it'll knock you back down here before you know it to 26 cents. So we've been on top of this coin. We laid out the coin was going to go down. The coin went down. Another coin that we laid out that would go down was back here in the winter time too, when this coin got brought back to my attention. We were way up here attempting to break out of this rising channel, which is a bullish continuation pattern, but a bearish reversal pattern at the top of the pattern. And I got the comments that I was the only one bearish at the top of this last hype train. And we put down that the price, if it fell back into this pattern, would break all the way back down to lower support, which was down here at a 0.015. And it did break down out of that. And now it's attempting to break back up, and it's been trading sideways since then. But we kept you out ahead of this, and we weren't fleecing you when we showed you this pattern that we were in and identified it easily in a super simple and easy way to understand it, with upper resistance, upper resistance, upper resistance, uptrending, and then uptrending lower support, 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 forms a duck's beak wider where you start, forms very narrow like a duck's beak at the end, and then you have to have a point of a breakout. But you can see it's a bullish pattern, but it's a bearish reversal pattern at the top, and then your targeted move would be down here at 0.002429 if it actually did come all the way down there. Obviously, your major overhead resistance is up there in green, but we again gave you the heads up that there was a potential on a breakdown from when we were up here. Just watch the videos from back here in January 14th of a potential 63.69% correction to the bottom part of that pattern, and that's exactly what did eventually take place. The same thing with, what do we have here? Before we gotta let you go, the LCX. You can see the LCX is the same thing. We had another one of these. The LCX though is down below a major support level at the 0.14, and it's been descending ever since it broke out and broke down out of that massive pump from the November-December, and we laid out why it would more than likely continue to trade down. And we emphasized again, when this got brought to my attention, that was not the time to buy up there after a massive pump. You buy the consolidation, which if you wanted to get into this coin, this would be the consolidation, because it's given away about 96% of that pump and is almost at pre-pump levels. You would want to buy here versus way up there after it spiked, because that's how you get fleece heisted and shisted. But right now you got to get back above these 50, the 100, and the 200 overhead moving averages that are acting as major upper resistance, and you got a major lower support down there at the 0.0918. Like the channel, subscribe, peace and love. The Rex Eyebrow, JJJ.